Statesman Nation, here with Steve Tucker, men's golf coach here at William Penn. Coach, I know the guys aren't fully in yet, but you've got a few on campus, and practice will be starting soon. So, kind of talk about, well, before we talk about this season, we'll actually rewind and talk about the 15-16 year, which finished with a really, really nice finish at conference. I think, I don't want to say surprising, but great way to cap off the year. So kind of recap everything.
Well, I do think that it did surprise some people what we did at conference.
Yeah.
We were tied for second after the first 36 holes. Actually, one of our administrators sent me a text message.
Yeah.
And like, second, question mark? Like,
is that right?
Is it wrong? Am I seeing this wrong? But it was right. Yeah, we did have a really good first day.
Right.
Guys played well. We were right in it, tied with the number 30 team in the country and ahead of the number 12 team.
Mm-hmm.
The Grandview is still out front, but we were right there going into the second day.
Yeah.
And that was a good place for the guys. They were not used to that.
Mm-hmm.
In a big tournament like that. We had some wins last year, so we were used to winning.
Right.
And that helped us to get to that point, I think. And we had a pretty intense qualifying tournament to see who got to go to conference, which was nice too.
Yeah.
Because Freddie had been playing number 2 pretty much all year behind Skip, sometimes number 1, and he made it to conference by one shot.
Yeah.
He almost missed the qualifier, so it would have been an interesting choice how to leave Freddie home.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he came back on his final 9 and made it. So.
Right, and he picked it up, and you didn't have to do a coach's pick type thing. And,
Yeah, he might have decided to stay home in Denmark if he didn't get to go to conference,
Right.
especially since his dad was here.
Right, definitely.
So that was interesting. We had a good year. We had 3 first-place tournament championships, and so we've got a trophy case that shows some recent stuff for a change, and that feels good. And,
Definitely.
And yeah, the guys get along well. We had good practices, good competition in practice, and we've got some good depth, and that depth is going to show again this year, I think.
Definitely. Recruiting-wise, and we'll talk more about this, but it sounds like you landed another handful of good recruits, guys that will be able to step right in, hopefully. So I guess before we get to them, let's talk about the returners. Obviously, Freddie kind of leading that group.
Yeah, Frederick's a really good player. He's going to be here 4 years now. He was thinking about trying to find a D1 school to transfer to. Thank goodness he kind of found a girlfriend and here at Penn and has chosen to stay. So he's going to lead us this year. And he's a good leader. He's a good player. Came back 20 pounds lighter than when he left at the beginning of the summer. So he's really dedicated himself to be better, be more fit, and really turn it on. He's already in the top 10 in a lot of our all-time categories for the golf team. So
Definitely.
I expect if he keeps playing well, we'll probably see his plaque on the wall someday.
Hopefully.
That's what I think that's kind of a driving force that he has. He wants to be there someday.
Yeah, definitely. Other guys that, I mean, there's some depth there, so talk about the rest of the depth of those returners.
Yeah, this is the 4th year of that big recruiting class that we had. They're not all still here.
Right.
But a few of those guys that have been with us now 4 years, Brandon Dizon is in his 4th year. He was our number 3 guy last year. My son Clay is in his 4th year, kind of. He took a couple semesters off. But he'll be back, and he's bigger and stronger and really looking forward to the year. Mm-hmm. He was our number 6 guy. He's the guy that missed out going to conference by 1 shot last year. So really we've got 3 of the top 6 guys back, all good players, and they've worked hard on their game all summer. Very good core to build around. Yeah. And then Kyle Hashimoto, his first year here, he played varsity his first tournament. And has struggled off and on during his career, but he's hopefully rededicated and wanting his senior year to be a really good one too. And a lot of our success is going to depend on some of those guys that have just been on the edge.
Right.
Can they kick it in a little bit, get just a little bit better so that they can help us at the top level?
Right, definitely. And then as far as, I'll let you look at your list, make sure you don't forget anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I hate
Well,
forgetting any guys.
Yeah, we've got a number of guys coming back too that aren't in that last year. Because we've got Bo Squires
Right.
is back for his last year of eligibility. He was with us 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And now he's
Not
back.
another guy with a slightly
Yeah.
curvy road. It wasn't a straight line to get where he
Yeah.
is now, but he's back and
But he's
finishing
back.
off. So
Can help. And Zach Swinks played some varsity. He'll be back. He'll be in his junior year. The guys are just growing up and they're just getting better. They're more dedicated to golf. They're focusing a little bit more on academics.
Right.
And there's just a good bunch of guys. We've got 6 of them going down to the preserve today on just a practice day that I didn't schedule.
great.
They just decided to get together. We're going to go play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see. Rory Schaefer will be back. He's also one of those guys that's kind of on the edge, and he's worked on his game the last 3 weeks. And we've made some swing changes. He's playing well, hitting the ball well. I think he could help us. Cade Hartman's back after his rugby injury.
Right.
He had an off season last winter. He hurt himself playing rugby, missed the spring season. He's back and playing well. Brad Hamilton will be a sophomore, and he just came back from the British Open.
Yeah.
Watching Todd play and had his arm around Fluff and all those kind of cool things that
right.
he gets to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter, we're hoping, gets his eligibility back. So we've got a good group of guys, I think 12, 13 guys that have been around the program now for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They're used to what we do, that know what it's going to take to get better and to be part of whether it's the varsity team or the JV team or the third team. They're all working everybody wants to be a varsity player.
Yeah. Those guys will obviously, give a lot of leadership and guidance to the new guys. So, segue into those newcomers.
Yeah. Well, I want to make sure I haven't forgot anybody.
Yeah, right.
So, and Justin, I just want to mention a couple of the guys that are gone. Besides Spencer Skipper, finished third at conference last year.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roberts played at conference last year. Had a really good senior year, kind of unexpectedly.
Yeah.
He just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, Ben's one of our top guys and
Right.
playing varsity.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Bothma played varsity last year, went to conference. Justin still has some coursework to do. He's kind of one of those weird South African type situations.
Yeah.
He was at a PGA school of some kind down there. They took away 2 years of his eligibility because of that. But he's got a year of school left, so he's going to be my student assistant, and has a lot of really good swing training
Right.
in his background. So
Yeah.
he wants to be the technician.
Sure.
He wants to really help the guys work through some swing changes if they need them.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a very big part of what we're doing. And Byron is back as second year graduate assistant. So we've got a good group of guys, but I think we've also strengthened our coaching teaching position by adding Justin and Byron being in his second year.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
So the new guys. So we already talked about Bo being kind of a new guy.
Right.
We got Sebastian B. Rulis, who is coming to us from Denmark through College of the Canyons in California.
Mm-hmm.
There's a picture up on Facebook of Sebastian now, like at a kids clinic.
Yeah.
Sebastian obviously is not a kid.
Yeah.
He's 6'8".
Yeah. Definitely not a kid.
He's bringing his own furniture with him because he has special furniture. So that him and his mom and dad right now are driving from California with the U-Haul because they had it stored in California
All right.
to bring it here. J.P. Rios played baseball last year, but he's used up his baseball eligibility. So he's got 1 semester of golf. So he's going to join us this year as a senior. And then we've got Skylar Cunningham, a local guy from Knoxville that kind of set out athletics last year. He went to DMAC and took classes. So he's a good player, had a good high school career, and he's already playing with the guys, played well last night. I think he can really help us. He's a good kid, good family, local. You can't beat that for William Penn. And Then Zach Chegmidden from England is coming over, and his history looks really good. He looks to be a nice guy, good kid. Brad met him when he was over for the British Open. There's a picture of him on our Facebook page also. So our recruiting class is kind of interesting because our 4 new guys, one's a senior,
Right.
one's a junior, one's a sophomore, and one's a freshman.
There you go.
So
Variety.
that's a little different. It's the first time I've ever done anything quite so goofy
Yeah.
like that with a
Like
recruiting
that,
class.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to work out, and I'm thinking that all 4 of those guys have a chance to challenge for one of those top spots.
Very cool. Scheduling wise, you guys are playing a little bit different fall schedule. I'll let you kind of elaborate more on that, but trying to kind of hone it back a little bit for the fall. Leave yourself some more time, money, resources to dedicate to the spring, which is obviously the more important season for golf. But I'll let you, like I said, elaborate more on all of that.
Yeah,
break it down.
We're hosting 3 events in the fall this year, and part of it is keeping the guys at home. It's not only a little bit better for budget, but it's better for time because we miss so much school anyway.
Right.
That if we can stay home so that we don't miss school, then that puts us in a better position heading into spring, because it's really unfortunate if we lose one of our good guys to academic issues.
Definitely.
Because we had them on the road too often. So that's part of it. The other part of it is instead of just traveling randomly, I guess it's maybe not the best term for it, but we're trying to select better quality tournaments. Central Methodist is on the schedule, but that's where conference is this year.
Right.
So we're going back to Hale Ridge, and the guys really like it down there. Coach Cluck cooks lunch for us. We've got pork burgers and cheeseburgers, and they say, "Oh, that's the tournament where we get lunch all the time."
There you
so,
go.
and it just happens to be conference this year, so we're going there, and we've been invited back to the NEIA preview again. Be the 2nd year in a row, and that's a big turning point for the program. Because even though we finished 18th there last year, the really, really, really good schools from NAIA go to that tournament because that's where the national event is. And we look back, and Skip shot 86 or 88 the first day there last year. If he would have shot 80, we would have gone from 18th to 13th.
Right.
So we know how competitive we can be, and that the only way you get better is to play better teams.
Definitely.
And our overall record last year with our varsity team was 85 and 28, something like that, in all the tournaments we went to. And if we take out the 17 losses, if you call it that, at the national preview,
Right.
it's
a lot better.
It looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were like 6 and 17 at the national preview.
Yeah.
The way you kind of
break
score it.
down who you beat, no, you don't. Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, we had a good year, and we're looking to have a good year, and it's starting to flow a little bit on its own, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Because people look at our website now. Oh, well, you didn't finish last in every tournament last year.
Okay. No, definitely.
Yeah. And it hasn't been that many years ago where that was kind of the case.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're back on track.
There you go.
Excited about the season, and already looking down the road. Class of 17, class of 18, we're already getting contacts from some of those kids. So don't want to get ahead of ourselves because we're really focusing on getting better right now.
Definitely. As far as conference goes, I mean, it's 9 months away, so kind of way too premature to be talking about where do we figure we're going to fall in, because we don't know who our new kids are and what they can all do over the next however many months and how much they will potentially improve and what everybody else has. But I guess the easiest way to ask is, what are the keys to William Penn being successful, at least in the fall, and continuing to grow and again be a real contender in the heart once May comes around?
Yeah, we need to find the 5 guys that we can really count on to be consistent players week in and week out. Go back to the preview experience. We had 2 of our 5 guys one day one guy shoots 90, the next day a different guy shoots 90.
Yeah.
90 is not going to work, especially when your number one guy is shooting 86.
Yeah. No, you can afford that one bad score, but not two,
Yeah,
for sure.
but I think that's an extreme case.
Yeah.
Because right now we're dropping scores that are in the high 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But what we want to get to is where we're dropping a score that's maybe 75. Because everybody else is between 67 and 73.
Right. Yeah,
And with this group, we really need to take it to that next level where 75 isn't okay.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they know that, but to get them to accept that, okay, hey, I'm 2 under par. Now maybe I can go 5 under par instead of thinking, oh, I'm 2 under par, maybe I'll shoot par.
Right, yeah, instead of just settling back, can continue pushing forward.
Yeah, no longer protecting their round,
Yep.
trying to make it as good as they can get.
Definitely.
And everybody struggles with that. It's
Yeah.
not just William Penn Golf, it's pros do that. They get down, they get a few, some of the pros will, even Furyk the other day on the radio, on TV says I was 11 under through 12. How do I get it to the house?
Yeah.
I got 6 holes left. And he got 1 birdie and 5 pars. But he really, as a 46-year-old, is trying to figure out how do I get this good round to the score table.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're going to be working on that too. We have some drills that we do to help us be stronger finishers.
Mm-hmm.
And at conference, we struggled with that. We lost 6 shots the last hole the last day as a group, finishing hole. And those 6 shots would have made the difference between 4th and 2nd place.
Yeah, yeah, which would have been huge. I mean, it would have been amazing.
Yeah,
and
then
4th was great, but 2nd would even be better.
Somebody would have texted me again, 2nd, question mark.
Yeah, right.
And I would have said, damn right.
You betcha.
Okay, you betcha.
Damn right. I like yours too. I was just going different. But anyhow, well, Coach, sounds really exciting for 16-17. All the pieces, hopefully they fit together. You got a long time to figure that all out. But like Coach said, 3 tournaments this fall at home, 1 in Moravia, and then 2 back here in Oskaloosa. So check out the Statesmen this year. Very least, check them out on statesmanathletics.com, and we'll keep you posted of all of their progress this year. Thanks a lot, Coach.
You're welcome.